Hello and welcome to this 1v1 game played on, I think this is Isura Duel. I think it's Isura Duel between JelToHim playing MBAD and he's going up against Jopemies or Jopemies and he's playing 157Y. I apologize for my throaty voice. I did a 7-hour live stream for a tournament yesterday and it completely messed up my voice. So I just wanted to show you the thing real quick. So if you go on the channel, right, and you click live, it's this one, the 1 day South Agony tournament, 7 hours and 20 minutes of talking, and obviously, that has an effect on one's voice. So yeah, deck reviews. Alright, so this is the deck review for Jopemies, and he's playing 157Y. I think this div's actually like 8-hit. It's just people sleep on it a lot. It's pretty good because of the Reservisti, pretty silly in their pricing. And the T-55s are really nice. And you've got nice AA. You've got nice anti-infantry. So, what's not to like? You don't have any airborne forward deployment, which is a bit of a pain. And your artillery you have to tow around everywhere, which is a bit of a pain. Yeah, so going through it tab by tab, we got 3 cards of supply, which you can do on this division, given the artillery. So for some reason he's brought this one. So this one used to have more HE, but in the patch, because this used to have more, then it had less, and now it's more again. So this is better. But in some ways it's not, because this has a higher fire rate and reduced dispersion, I think. And it fires in a howitzer arc, whereas this fires in a mortar arc, which means it takes absolutely ages for the shell to land and the guy moves. So, to each his own. I'm pretty sure I bring both, because they're only 1 card slots. But he's found a way to get 50 out of 50 AP. So 3 cards of supply, okay. And then these CV options, so basically you're paying 10 points more to get twice the HP and armor and the same road speed. Worse off-road speed, right? Except this has, slightly less HP, but it has, more speed. So, yeah, I think I bring one of each as well. And then in the infantry tab, there's a 3 per card one with 8 strength. So I'm really surprised he brings this, because there's only 4 strength. And they do get smoked, but there's only 4 of them. So I'd bring, and this guy's, it's 3 per card, so I'd be bringing this in the BTR 152K for 100 kilometers an hour off-road speed. And yeah, they don't have smoke, but they've got twice the HP. And then the unspeakable one, because you don't get conkers. Okrana VMF, I'm pretty sure this is like my deck, basically. Looks quite similar to mine, but I ended up changing it. I'm pretty sure I took these guys out. But nah, they're alright, actually. 14 strength is pretty good. Did I leave them in? Maybe I left them in. Yeah, as you can see, it's very, very similar to mine, except I run 2 cards of supply. I don't really think you need 3. As long as you turn off the fuel always, because you don't have that much arty, and you've even got less than me, so I'd be very tempted to remove that 3rd card of supply. And then you get 2 AP. And then you can get more arty, I guess. Yeah, I can see the issue. There's nowhere else to put it. 3 cards it is. I mean, what? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah. You could get rid of this guy, because that's also a 2-point slot. Yeah. So, 14 guys for 55 points. They're really quite nice against infantry. Moto Strelki, and then the BMP1 guys. Yeah, I bring these as well. Whoops. And then 3 cards of Reservisti is a must. And then you bring these guys to buff up the Reservisti, and you put them in the Commanditura vehicle. And yeah, 3 cards of Reservisti at 1 vet. These guys should be 35, and the fact that they come in a wheeled transport with a gun for 15 points is pretty crazy. 120mm mortar for smoke. I prefer this one because it goes further. I don't know why. There's a certain packed mortar just seems completely bugged. It goes further than their own 120mm. It goes further than any other, mortar in the game, apart from like the Pram, I guess. So I'd bring this. You get more of them. And then, yeah, Malyutka you definitely need to bring both of these. I bring them at no vet as well because I use them for the ATGM. And if you're getting gun combat, okay, you're getting gun combat. Then use this, yeah, because it's got smoke. It's got reservists, but you put the other guys next to it. And then I'm pretty sure I don't bring these. I just looked at it, and I did not... I looked, but I did not see. Yeah, I just bring 2 cars of the T-55As. So that's what I would recommend. I don't really think these are that good. You do get 10 of them, and they're only 40 points. And on the defensive, actually, they're really good. Because it's like half the price, and the opponent has to deal with this, and it's got loads of armor, and it's going to shoot all his infantry. So, yeah, okay. Maybe it is good. Recon, so... Reservist Razvedka, yes, so this is basically... Because you don't get airborne forward deployment. So this is your best forward deployment. So you want it in the 100 kilometers an hour transport, and you want it up-vetted because they're going to be fighting. These guys are your cheap recon to get around everywhere, and you can bring it in this to give you additional recon, right? This is anti-helo, so you can either bring this to get, because this apparently has very good optics. I don't see anything that would indicate that, but okay. The Mark 1 eyeball, you must have the Mark 2. Anyway, this is better for the optics, but this is better in terms of it's fast and it can shoot at helicopters. So, you know, they're both good options, basically. But if you plan on doing some massive tank charge across an open field, this is going to help you more. And if you plan on doing better at the start of the game, this is going to help you more. AA, so yeah, you need this for the anti-infantry. This, so I haven't actually used this yet since I put it in my deck, but it's got 21 ROF with 1.3 HE. So it's like the deleter of infantry, basically. And then, yes, the Krugs you need to bring. I wouldn't bother upvetting them because you only get 10% accuracy. And, like, okay, so 3 of these shoot, that's 90%. This shoots, it's 40%. So it doesn't make any sense, really. Anyway, this has phalangers on it, and this doesn't, so okay. And then helis, so, sorry, not helis, the next one, the planes. So I'm surprised that he's bringing this, because this is your anti-helo. So why do you need this as well? I would pick one or the other. This is anti-helo in that it's got mega guns on it, but I'm not really sure if they work properly. So I would pick one. This one's probably the better one to pick, actually, because... Although this can shoot at planes as well, you know, from further away. It's better against planes, this is better against helos. And also the guns. Like, this has 1 gun, but this has 2 guns, so... It's got... That's weird. It's basically the same stats. It's actually worse. Oh, the salvo length's twice as high, so it does actually fire twice as many rounds. I'd get rid of this. And then you've got 2 AP. And then you can... get rid of that second card of supply. Now you've got 4 AP. And now you can get... I mean, I'm just saying, right? You don't have to do it. I wouldn't bother with either of these. You can get... I bring manpads at 1 vet. I like them against the helos, because how the hell do you kill helos with this thing? Or with this thing, you just drive up to him and hope he doesn't shoot you, so I like these. And then you can bring the big arty boy, which, yes, wow, mega supply cost, but you just, you know, you just don't resupply it. Unironically. Or you could, actually, you only get 1 of these. Yeah, because then, obviously, then you've only got 2 cars of supply, and you've actually got more arty, but you just don't resupply it, right? You just fire 20 rounds, which is going to take you a very long time, actually. It's going to take you 800 seconds. No, because that's you got to aim as well. So call it 100 there, or it's 120 times by 10 is 1,200 seconds, which is what, 20 minutes? Get my calculator up. 81 plus 31.5, and it's actually got a fire, right? But we won't include that time, alright? times by 10, divided by 60. It's 18 minutes, not including the time it actually spends shooting. So, yeah, you don't have to resupply it. That's pretty funny, actually. I didn't think of that. Yeah. His opponent, JelToHim, has been basically never showed up on the channel before, and now he's been here like 3 times in 2 weeks or so. He's playing MBAD. So MBAD is it's not terrible, to tell you the truth, but it's actually just really not as good as people seem to think it is. Basically, there's the rank 1 player spams MBAD, therefore MBAD good. It's not why he's winning. He could do it with any div. It's not, if you, the better your micro, the better MBAD is. And if your micro's bad, don't play it, because the idea is you've got loads of cheap shit that you just fling around at everybody. There's not much to talk about here, but there is. So, forward deployed CV, Sultan, and then he's got another forward deployed CV, so you don't necessarily have to go for that, because you can... Wait, okay, so this is your forward deployed CV, so why do you need another one? 6 guys, law, smoke, 100 points. 6 guys, law, smoke, mountaineer, resolute, 50 points. Same transport. You've already got forward deployed CV, it only matters at the start of the game. 2 cards of ATGMs makes sense. I would prefer the Fallschirmjäger MG3 over the 50 cal, because you get 4 more. These are, you know, they shoot better. Actually, they cost the same. No, this is 35 points, so this is 20. Yeah, so I would get, I mean, let's say you like Britain a lot, we'll just bring this one, they're the same. The MG3 used to be better, but they fixed it. Which is a shame, really. It was cool when it was better, but whatever. So yeah, I'd prefer this one, and then this should be a Milan 1, because you've already got the Milan 2s. So you want a Milan 1, because it's nice and cheap, and get a rank of veterancy without compromising availability, and comes in a Milan 1 vehicle with a 50 cal on it, and it's forward deployed and everything, so really good at the start of the game, so you want that. Para Engineers versus Falchion Pioneer. I prefer the Para Engineers because they have 1 less man, but their guns are better on the move, and this will fire if you're in the same building. This won't. And then, yeah, Para gun group I don't really like, personally, but people bring it. You can bring the Marineers, because they're 10 guys, and they've got 3 machine guns. Because, like, this is only 6 guys, but I guess it's only 50 points. It's still a decent pick. And then 2 Gurkha rifles, one of which I'd bring in a helicopter, because what happens if you need some heli infantry? RT, so yeah, you basically have to do this. Cluster mortar, very good. So if your micro is perfect, that's why this division is good, because you basically, so the way Mix plays it, is he will, because this will fire 2 salvos without moving, so if somebody's paying attention, they can counter battery it. He will interrupt it after 5 rounds every single time for 40 minutes. So if you think you can do that, then play MBAD. I guarantee you can't. Obviously, he's going to watch this as well. So, anyway, these used to go 4-3, which was cool, and then they just removed that. And now it's 4-2. So, alright. Tanks, so, yeah, basically you want to spam out the fire support. You've got, you know, basically get rid of this and bring the Parascorpion. You can upvet these if you want, because it does actually make the autocannons a lot better. But the idea is you got 36 fire support, that's generally how people run it, 36 fire support. Yeah. He's got this because of the Panzerfaust 3. Pathfinders are a must bring because their anti-infantry potential is insane, but they do have to stand still to shoot. LSV Milan with the Milan 2. Goes at 130 kilometers an hour, so you do have to bring that. This is better than the Gazelle for obvious reasons. It's got a rocket on it. And, yeah. So, he wants the Panzerfaust 3s, basically. Okay. AA. So, like, you need the Darkfire for the long-range AA. What the fuck are 9 Javelins in a Gazelle gonna do for you? You got the Minstrels. Right? So, yeah, you need the Darkfire. I wouldn't bother upvetting it. If it went 4-3-2, I'd probably 2-vet it, but it doesn't. And yeah, this is for the airborne forward deployment, because it's airborne forward deploy day 8. This is as well, but this is self... You know, it doesn't have to unload to shoot people, and it's got a salve length of 3, so it's really nice at the start. This is your anti-infantry. You can bring the Skyguard instead if you want, but this is better against infantry, and it's cheaper. It's obviously not as good against planes. This one does aim slower than this, but this is better. It's just this is better against planes, but that's what the Darkfire's for. So you can bring the Hot 2, or you can bring the Hell Arm because it's got more HP, but it's got less killing potential. But this can survive a hit from any manpad, and this can't. So that is actually an interesting decision. Like, all 3 of these are viable options. You can bring this if you want to not kill anybody. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I bring them... I'm pretty sure I just completely max this out. I would not bother upvetting this for that juicy 8% ECM so it can die anyway. But I know, like, Mix likes upvetting his planes. But yeah, the HE one is absolute dog. It drops so slowly. You don't want that. I'm pretty sure I bring the Mirage Rocket, because it's got 30% ECM, and it's pretty good against infantry because of how fast it reloads. Or I might just bring... I think I bring 2 of the LGBT, actually. But I haven't played MBAD in a while. I should probably play it. Yeah, I bring 2 LGBTs, the AT and the Seed. But yeah, the cluster one is alright, because it reloads so quickly. But yeah, I think this is honestly trash. If you really want a bomber, bring this. It's a lot better at it. Like, because this is only 1 per card, so you basically have to bring 2 cards of it. But like this, for 25 points more... sorry, yeah, for 45 points more. This has a bigger payload, but it drops from high altitude. It's really not good. It should be 3 per card. And this has 10% more ECM. It goes faster. It's got Sidewinder missiles. It's got... Well, I suppose so does this. It's actually got worse Sidewinder. It's got longer range. It's got guns. Yeah, this is better than that. Like, a lot. The LGBT, I like bringing it. Because it could drop 2. 1 at a time. But the Seed is crap, so it's kind of hard to use properly. This is the safer option. 2 of these and 2 of these. Definitely the safer option. It's a shame that these are 1 per card. Anyway. That's it for the deck review. Sorry we laboured the point so much. Now I'll talk about the map, the matchup, the deployments, and the game. And as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so with that out of the way, in terms of the matchup, I think 157Y is better. I also think he's on the nicer side, but MBAD is definitely better at the start. And that means that he can negate the side advantage by rushing Elena, or just rushing straight through into Fedor. So I played this map a few times from the bad side. In that tournament stream, I played this map, and I was on this side. And I tried rushing Elena, and that didn't work at all, because there's a big open field here, and I just got shot. People here, people back here, kept dying. So then I tried attacking on this side, and it worked. So you can get through, like, you can just basically... Because the enemy will have an ATGM in there, but that's fairly easy to deal with. You just move up a recon to here and shoot him. You'll basically lose Dimitri, keep a fallback line here, keep guys in these buildings, and then just get to the industrial zone, sort out the industrial zone. And if you take that, you sort of mess Red up quite a bit, because you can get infantry into this forest and send them round and annoy the crap out of him. And you can punch this way into Fedor. Now, if you own Fedor, this resupply road is open, and then you can push into Dimitri and take your own zone back. So I think he's got the right idea by playing more on the right here. But I haven't tried that from the start, because in the other game I attacked in Elena and then it didn't work, and then I pivoted to attacking on the right. I was against like a rank 53 or something, so he's a decent player. But I haven't tried starting on the right, so this is going to be interesting for me, actually. This is good, I'm going to learn something. So... yeah, MBAD, basically get there first, sit there with a Gorillion ATGMs. 157Y doesn't get airborne forward deployment, so he is going to struggle, but he does get an endless supply of T-55s, which can survive Milan 2 shots. I believe they can survive... I don't think they can survive 2 shots. It depends on the T-55 variant. The IS-2s can't. So yeah, this one can't survive a TOW 2 shot, but it can survive a Milan 2 shot. But I'm trying to think about the one with the 2,800 meter range ATGM. Anyway, as the game goes later, the 157Y player should just be able to drown MBAD in reservists. But it's hard. It depends how good the MBAD player's micro is. Let's see what happens, right? So, on the left, JelToHim sending a couple units, right? Forward deployed stuff. Milan 2s. There's nothing there, mate. I'm not sure why he's doing that. Yeah, I mean, here's nice, right? And a recon. Could that beat the enemy to Elena? Probably not, actually. Might be able to beat him here, which is an important part of sorting this out. Then, bunch of guys for Dimitri. Okay, some of them are on that road. Couldn't he have started it on this road? I guess it probably doesn't matter. I don't actually know. He might not have been able to, but the more you turn, the more speed you lose. So, Paragun Group, Minstrel, Milan 2. That's not a building. VADS, Fallschirmjäger. Then on the right, yeah, big push here. So, the VADS, 2 Paragun groups, but they're not unloading, I've noticed. Paras, VADS, right. Recon and the LSV Milan. He needs an ATMP Milan, I think, with that, because what if there was a helo there? I guess he would unload the VADS, shoot it with the VADS, but the ATMP Milan's got... Sorry, ATMP LML has more range, and it doesn't have to unload. Excuse me. Sorry, my throat's absolutely killing me. Anyway. Okay, yeah, last time I saw, I think it was him on this map, but no, it was somebody else. So you will cap this zone, which is nice. A lot of people miss this zone because it's so hard to see. They just don't notice it's there, so then they lose because it's a +2. So he is going to cap Boris Center. So yeah, this is going to be cool. We'll see the right attack. I wonder if he watches my videos, because... well, actually, no, because this replay was sent to me before I did that live stream, so no, I can't have done. At least in this instance. So yeah, Fallschirmjäger for the very nice tall building, and then 2 more ATMP Milans, but no AA. Right? You need an LML with this, and then it would, you'd send the helo and it would die, right? A couple weasels and TOW 2s and stuff. Switch it to his opponent's deployment. It's going to be an uphill struggle for him, basically. I do believe 157Y is kind of a bit stronger overall, but he's going to lose the... Like, on this map, MBAD has got quite a nice time, actually, because of the towns and stuff. And, you're going to have to push into that arriving second. So, on the far left, a Reservist Razvedka. He's going to run into those AMTP Milans. And then also some more guys, so an Unspeakable one, a CV, and a BMP1. Then we've got Reservist Razvedka and BTR-40A. This is making me want to play Warno. Because this is a really interesting matchup, actually. I don't think I've ever seen it. Reservisti, recon guy with the auto sell-off. Sorry, military police guy with the auto sell-off. Otherwise, it sells your military police vehicle, which you kind of need for the tanks. And then ZU-23, so this is one way in which, MBAD's going to have a really bad time, all these towed guns. And lots of IS-2s and stuff. So 4 IS-2s and a T-55 AM1, which is the one with the ATGM. Nice ATGM. And it will survive a TOW 2 because it's got the upgrade. Yeah. And then on the right, a CV for Gregory Elena. So, let's cast the game. Right, so they're off, and it's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners, generously joining the channel. They get their names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get members exclusive videos. At the highest tier, they get their games cast at a rate of 1 per calendar month. And honestly, I just can't thank you guys enough. Not just the generous channel joiners, but everybody. Basically, I was doing a PhD, I'm still trying to finish it, and my funding ran out in February, and since then I've been living off the channel. It's not quite enough, but it's making my savings go a lot further. Without that, I think I'd just be totally fucked, basically. I don't know what I'd do. So, thank you. Honestly, I mean it. I'm not just saying it so I can, try and get more money. Obviously, more money is always nice. Anyway, the LSV Milan got taken out by the Reservist Razvedka there, and this guy managed to drop off as well. So, yeah, the Paragon group lose their transport, and the Razvedka are going to lose their transport now. So yeah, that was a bit of a silly Billy moment. He could have reversed it and brought it round to shoot, and then it would have been out of range. You'd expect 6 guys to beat 2 guys, and as you can see, they've just routed. I mean, the triple machine gun there, really doing the work. Yeah, so JelToHim, he's got some guys. The unspeakable one can't be hit by this. It's going for the transport, so the unspeakable one's going to stop this, even if it misses, right? This Milan's coming around, and this is going to kill that as well. See the power of the VADs there? There was an infantry unit there, and now there's not. Actually, I think it got the transport first. Yeah, but you see the power, right? The power, he's got 2 of them. So he's come around this way, but that means that these tanks have a... Look at that! So, we spoke about this at the deck review. It's got a 21 ROF with 1.3 HE. It's absurd. I've never seen it in action. Or at least I've been against it, but I've never got a good look at it. It's really good. I don't know if... I think the VADs might be better just because it suppresses and stuns the crap out of everybody. But this Tote 2's paying dividends. I think it's got 2 tanks already. You see, it's got the Commandatura next to them. And the Tote 2, though, it's claiming victims. These guys, they don't have stabilizers. So the non-stabilized accuracy is it's like practically zip. Look at that. I mean, obviously this one was moving, right? And this isn't a forest. I don't think you can see it. This should survive that. It missed anyway. I think it might have been a side shot there. Weasel. But yeah, wow. I mean, you're paying for it, right? It costs more. And it's not forward deployed. But it's actually... It's got much longer range. I'm going to have to play 157Y after this. Look at the range on it. So it's like the VADs, except it's got 500 meters more range. Because I put it in my deck, but I haven't actually used it since I did that. Anyway, JelToHim's sort of big push here has been negated, and now this is being capped. So this happened a lot faster than I thought it would. I thought the MBAD player would have a much better time. You see, he's still getting lots of kills and stuff with the infantry in here. Like I said, I don't watch these games ahead of time, but you know, that's what I'd do. I'd send a guy in here and try and get him round the back and kill the reinforcements and stuff, and that's what he did. I figured, like, after a while, the 157Y player would be able to push out the MBAD player just by overwhelming him with fire support, basically. With Reservist in front and crap behind, stuff like this. These are 15 points. And, you know, the ATGM, it's got to shoot it, it's got to kill it, or it's going to kill the infantry, so you got to shoot it. But that actually happened quite quickly. I think JelToHim might have played a bit too aggressively here, maybe. What was that? The good one? Was that the TikTok? You wouldn't expect the TikTok to beat 2 close-range fighters in a close-range engagement. It is one of the best ASFs in the game, but it's an SU-33, basically. I don't know why the Reservist trash div gets the SU-33 March to War weapon, but I think it's cool. I think it's good. Anyway, spoke about this a bit in the deck review. So JelToHim, he hasn't brought the Milan 1, and he hasn't brought the MMG, he's brought the HMG and the Milan 2. And you start to see that in these situations, where, look at the range. Fires further than a fucking rapier. Anyway, I should stop swearing, it's very rude. And so without that, like Milan 1s are great against this. They're much better than Milan 2s because they're cheaper, so you can get more of them out. And you get more of them. So, you know, target saturation. And the MMGs are good against the Reservisti, right? The HMGs are a little better. They do more DPS, but you get less of them, and they cost almost twice as much. It's like 35 points versus 20 points, something like that. So it's rough. And yeah, so JelToHim, he's managed to get guys like the Gurkha rifles will beat 1 Reservisti any day of the week. The thing is, you can get almost 3 Reservisti for the price of this, because they're 30 points each. So this is almost cost effective. Well, I suppose it is if you definitely like. So blue actually has more stuff here in terms of points if you include these guys and the CV buffing them up. And so the Gurkha rifles, they're doing all right, but you see the problem, right? And the idea is that these guys shouldn't be fighting alone. They should have like MBAD should have scimitars, and Red 4 should have, you know, all the like this basically. So you see the Gurkha rifles, you know, they're doing okay, but and some of the Reservisti aren't firing, but They've been routed. Because basically, unlike in Red Dragon and Steel Division 2, which do this much better, in this game, what matters more than anything is just the number of people. Because there's no training stats, and the weapons are all, you know, pretty similar to each other. Look at that! I gotta try this thing out, man. That's crazy. 21 ROF. And, I mean, it basically almost killed it in one burst. So, yeah, the VAD's taking names there. IS-2's got to shoot that, really, on the BMP-1. You can't just let him shoot you. You got to get behind the building like you did with this one. This guy's probably going to die. Okay, missed. Yeah, the TOW2's on him now as well. And JelToHim, he's managed to synchronize, or whatever you want to call it. Stabilize. He's got a couple things here because of his ATMP Milans. Reservist he dropped off, and then they should slowly come around here. MBAD doesn't get combat helos. I think does it even get the Gazelle rocket? I don't think it does. But that is one problem they have, unlike most other Airborne divs. Luftilandia has the same problem. They don't get helos with guns on them. They get helos with ATGMs on them, but they don't get fire support of anti-infantry helos. And yeah, the ZU-23 is doing a good job. This one's probably going to die. I mean, this is a 12-man squad. They've got this mountaineer trait now as well, which means they go really fast through the forest. This VADS is doing a lot. I think Jopemies needs to slow down a bit. Because he's lost a lot here, actually. He had massive force superiority, and now he's got basically nothing left. It does kill the VADS finally, but, you know, everybody's dead, so... Yeah. Anyway, now the game has sort of become what it usually is, which is just fighting over this. Which is a shame, really. I don't know, maybe JelToHim should have doubled down on this side. But yeah, playing on the blue side is really difficult. I don't know how to... I mean, certainly, like, he could have reacted a bit better to those IS-2s, right? So, like, some smoke. You know, if you're going to do some funny attacks, smoke is really useful. Really good arty round there. Kills the Gurkha rifles. And you see, so this fires at a howitzer arc. But look at that, he just can't get in without smoke, and he's not buying smoke, so he's just going to keep having this problem. And then you end up in these buildings, and then you get arted. And he's getting hosed. He's like a scimitar here to kill these. It's not looking good for blue, really. I know he's got the zone right now, but this thing is absurd. It's so good. It's so good, like, what the fuck? Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know what you do now if you JelToHim. I would have sort of doubled, tripled down on this and used a lot of smoke and stuff. I think using the planes is quite a good idea because the Krugs aren't out and he does have seed and, like, actually, yeah, the Krugs are open to being seeded. There was a Krug. He used the cluster on the infantry. I didn't realise there was Krug there. But, you know, it's got 30% accuracy. Which means, actually, you know, 60% in two missiles. He needs to move this now. But yeah, I'd be getting those cluster mortars out. There they are. And, you know, something like this, you cluster mortar volley that with recon, it'd probably kill it. Okay. It went out of range. And yeah, both sides need to use quite a bit of smoke. I mean, I say things like I wish people would use smoke more, but obviously it's worse for me if they do. But they should. And I do talk about it a lot, because, well, look, okay, there's a guy here shooting you every time you come across. Well, what do you do about him? You either kill him with arty or a plane, or you smoke, and then he can't shoot you. So you'd have to smoke here and here, basically. And that's the issue with this zone. It's very hard to defend as blue, and it's supposed to be blue zone. This is supposed to be blue zone, this is supposed to be red zone, so it's very tough. So that's why I think this attack is cool, right? And once you get into lore 80 range, these will die, but he couldn't get into lore 80 range. He got held back here by the this thing. The Samarine Doomslayer with the 130mm gun. So yeah, there you go, Scimitar kills the AA guns. And then these are super hard to micro. Basically, you need to fire a volley move, otherwise you get counter battery. Although this has a very, very, very long reload time of 81 seconds, so yeah, the risk of being counter battery is quite low. And the Toad loading thing doesn't really work properly. So this only has 4 AT rounds, unlike most bigger squads, which have like more, basically. But yeah, he has to fall back because, like, for example, this is a 14-man squad with Resolute. And they've only got one machine gun, there's 14 of them, and the ZUs and everything, so... So he's got the cluster up. The Krug's gonna shoot at him. But keep in mind, this is 30% accuracy at max range. The closer they get, the higher the accuracy goes. So having such a big max range makes the accuracy really quite high at close ranges. So here you go, cluster's coming in. They're not all firing at the same thing. Basically, the way you want to use it is you all fire at the same thing. This guy's probably going to get routed now. Like, these, they don't hit a lot, but, well, there you go. Fourth time lucky, I mean, you'd expect that, really, wouldn't you? That's pretty normal RNG, actually. And yeah, the arty just making it very hard for the MBAD player to do much here. You need smoke. But the longer this goes on, the worse it's going to be, because he's airborne. Right? You know, maybe the better option would have been to just rush this, because he's got the airborne forward deployment, so he did sort of get there first. Although, you know, that Red actually did meet him here. But maybe he should have just fought around this more. Because if you own this, well then they can't really shoot you from here, because you come over here and... I don't know, I need to keep playing this map on the bad side and see what's going on. But yeah, typically the way you use these is you get the recon up, so you've got the... Yeah, exactly, right. As you can see, they're pretty good if your enemy doesn't move. But typically, yeah, you get the recon for the corrected shot, because they have corrected shot, because they're... basically, the way these work in real life, I believe they're like loitering projectiles. So you just drop a few into the mortar, and the Soviet tank battalion coming the other way just gets hit by all these laser-guided cluster things, or whatever. I don't know if they're laser-guided in real life. So, you know, you can destroy the whole Soviet armoured battalion with a couple 81mm mortars, you know, by just blasting them all up into the air. So, TikTok should really be killing this. He didn't evac it straight away. He could have got out there. Okay, he buys another one. Now the TikTok is probably dead, yes. That's the issue with diving so hard for a kill. You got to be very careful. Particularly around, like, the... Oh, he didn't move them. The buffoon just lost 3 of his cluster mortars. That's really bad news, man. He didn't move them. These... Look how long they take to shoot. This one's vetted up because it's killed so many people. So he's only got 1 left now, and that doesn't do anything. You need 4. That's the idea, that you shoot all 4 and then you move. I was talking about this in the deck review. It's just, it's a shame because most of you guys skip it, so I have to repeat myself. Which I'm happy to do. You know, you gotta be nice to the people keeping you alive, Hippie. Don't be such an asshole. So just imagine if that was 4 times more, it'd be dead, right? And then you just move it, and then you get the next one. Then you move it, and you get the next one. And you can shoot, you know, like 3 times a minute. Something like that. I mean, it's got to fire the rounds. 2 or 3 times a minute, you're killing a unit. So that's actually, if you micro well, it's like an absurd DPS. So like, it would kill that, because with the recon, it gets corrected shot. I don't know if that's covered by the recon circle. It might not be, because there's no recon here. Well, we'll see when the rounds land. If they land right on his head, then it's corrected shot. So yeah, and then for the buildings, you find out which building they're on using the LOS tool. See, look at how small the dispersion is. Okay, he aimed for the wrong place. He aimed for this instead of behind there, I guess. No, never mind. It wasn't corrected. I think it's kind of hard to tell. Yeah. So imagine if that was 4, that'd be dead. And so to find out which building specifically they're in within the block, use your LOS tool. So the Rocket 2 is pretty good, but it's obviously not good against 3 Minstrels and 2 ASFs. And the Krug's still reloading. So you use your LOS tool, and when it snaps onto the building, where it snaps on, the centre of where it snaps on is where the unit is. So that house specifically, and then you target that with the cluster mortars. And even though they're cluster, and even though they're 81mm mortars, because the dispersion's so low, they do quite well. These bombers are so bad. The Buccaneer bomber is not good at all, in my humble opinion. I'd bring the Mirage if you want a bomber. I've been bringing double LGBT, but I'm starting to think that's not worth it. Because instead I could get, you know, 4 planes instead of 2 planes. So, big fire support battles going on here. The Reservisti getting messed up by the weasels, the scimitars. He sold the vehicles, so they're all going to get countered. I mean, he saw what happened to the mortar, right? This Jopemies is concerning himself with the fight at the moment. But yeah, both sides just trying to bring as much fire support to bear, because that's what kills things. Infantry killing infantry, it happens, it just takes ages, so you want to speed that process up by using the fire support. I think it's realistic, I guess. And special forces are still better, but they're better because they give them like 4 machine guns, as opposed to because they're just better. Like, so in War Game Red Dragon, like a militia unit will just lose to Gurkhas, for example, because not only do they have veterancy, they also have a stat called training, and so if you've got low veterancy and low training, you do a lot worse than in Warno. You just tend to have low veterancy, and that's what matters. And then they tried to substitute for training with the traits, so the shock training level is now a trait, but it's just not as good, because it only applies when you're in a certain radius, and like resolute is like, you know, sort of also a substitute for the old shock training. So yeah, I actually prefer Red Dragon's implementation of the infantry combat, but everything else is better in Warno, I think. You could argue whether or not you prefer like nations over divisions, but yeah, you see, you know, the weasels at 2 vet actually do a lot of damage because the accuracy's so high, whereas at 1 vet it's basically half. He hasn't brought any at 1 vet, so I can't really show you, and these aren't autocannons, right? The Unspeakable one has missed this guy quite a few times now. It does only have 50% accuracy, but yeah, these guys are not moving their artilleries, and they're getting counter-batteried. Both sides struggling with it because they don't have self-propelled stuff. I mean, on this Civ you can bring the Beric, but these are really good. He doesn't bring the Mega one. I bring the Mega one, but it's got a worse firing angle and a lower ROF. So who knows if it's actually worth it? Probably isn't. So there you go, now he's got 2 Krugs. What you can do as well is put a CV next to them, and we know he's got 8 CVs. So then they'll have 5% more accuracy each, which is 10% more. And now he definitely needs to move these. The 105s aren't very good, but, you know, he could buy Seed and then drop a Buccaneer bomber on it. That's something I think MBAD should be doing, really, is leaning more into the air spam, because, like, the Seed plus the 2 cluster planes and a Seed, it's a big investment, but if he's only got 3 of these, and then what? He's going to shoot you with towed guns. Your planes with towed guns. Well, he's fucked, isn't he? But yeah, this Seed is not very good, so you've got to pair it with the bomber, so he should have sent the bomber behind this. Seed spots the Krug, or gets shot by them, and then the bomber kills the Krug. Because, yeah, I mean, that's not particularly surprising, because that Seed plane isn't very good. It should really be 3 per card, like the Jaguar one. But it is slightly better than that. And, yeah, like, you need to synchronize it. And obviously that it costs a lot, because this is 300 points, and you have to chuck like 600, you know, 700 points of planes at it. But that's how it's done. And then once you've done that, you can use your planes again, and his AA is dead. So yeah, like a Seed and 2 clusters, and the ASFs, because he should send out his own ASF, but that requires like minutes of preparation, means less stuff on the front line for minutes. So I understand the reluctance, but that's how air spam works. This is making me want to play MBAD and 157Y. They're cool divs. It's just a shame British divs in this game are all like, it's like first UK, second UK, good. Fourth UK is just garbage. And then all the other ones are quote-unquote British, and actually they're just like EU mega projects. So there you go, that was good synchronization there, but, you know, it wasn't enough really, because the TikTok was up. So you got to have your own fighters. The Krugs were actually out of ammo there. But yeah, the TikTok's really good. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not easy to do what I'm suggesting. It's very easy for me to sit here and talk about it. But I do play this game, you know. You may have noticed. I may have mentioned it. I'm actually quite good at it. Maybe not the best, but I do like to pretend I am. So, yeah. I was going to say, that took a while to neutralise, but he's not... Oh, I thought I was going for the Arctic, because he's not moving it. He's trying to manually move him. I thought that was going for the Arctic, it was not. And yeah, this is the issue with blue on this zone, because you do end up in there, and yeah, he's just like, I'm not winning this. So there you go, Jopemies with 157Y, ranked 28, 90% win rate. JelToHim ranked 21, a 70% win rate. So two very even players. Jopemies has played 1/5 of the total game. This is the Hippie gameplay. If you watch Hippie YouTube videos, this is what happens, right? You play 1/5 the games of somebody who doesn't, and you just shoot all the way up. You just beat him. You get the good side of the map when you watch Hippie YouTube videos. But yeah, as you can see, right, so MBAD good, MBAD good. Well, here's one of the best players in the game, right? He's beaten me several times. It doesn't look so good, does it? So yeah, if you've got better micro than me, go ahead. Say MBAD good. Say M good. Anyways, I found that game quite entertaining. I hope you did too. And I'll see you in the next one. GG.